Greetings, my friends. My name is Robert Mercado, and I am seeking to become the candidate for governor of New York for the November of this year's election. Now, I am seeking the position as a write-in candidate, which is very different than most candidates would approach running for governor. The reason I am seeking to accomplish what I seek out to do in this manner is because, one, the process of getting on the ballot is very difficult, as most people know. It's not an easy thing to get the petitions necessary to go against established candidates, especially in the Republican and the Democratic field, of which Governor Hochul is the presumed candidate for governor. And the Independent, Green Party, and the other parties that would normally nominate a candidate are also fraught with all kind of difficulties. So to bypass all that and to take advantage of the write-in candidacy of most positions in government, the write-in candidacy is an option. It's not an easy option as well. Getting name recognition and the support of most people will be a challenge. But I am up to the challenge. I want to take that on. I want to be able to convince the electorate to choose this outsider with no political experience, not a successful businessman. Actually, I am a low-level working man that just recently retired from a nonprofit that did weatherization work, which is a state program. And I probably have no business running for governor. But to be honest, I need something to do, really. Being retired is a very uneventful existence. So there's many other things that I want to accomplish as well as being governor. One of them is I want to encourage I wouldn't say abolishing of political parties, but I think the time has come in American politics where we as a nation retire the party system. Now, why would I want to do that? Well, the number one reason to eliminate the party system is the division that the party system creates and perpetuates. If you're not a Republican, you're more likely a Democrat, and that's no good. And if you're not a Democrat, you're not a Republican. I think I messed that up. But anyway, move forward. The other party is no good, in other words. Whoever the party you're enrolled in, the other party is no good. So that creates division among our people. And it's going to be hard to get the people united to be able to accomplish some of the things that I would set out to do as governor. Now, we all know that financially, New York State is in a bad position. Our base of taxpayers is dwindling, particularly our large corporations are abandoning our state and city to find greener pastures. And there's little to persuade them to change their minds, and particularly if they already committed to making those changes. So if we can't convince the major corporations and high earners to stay in New York, then we're going to have to find replacements. We're going to have to find new industry to be able to fill the shortfall. Now, as we know in this country, the largest corporations are technology corporations, which we all know: Tesla, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, some others. Not to insult companies to not make that list, but those are the big companies bringing in the hard, real cash. And the prospect of bringing Apple to New York City and New York State, or Tesla to New York State, or any of those big companies is pretty remote, particularly with our tax structure. So we're going to have to attract or create new industries that bring in the kind of money that would give New York State needed revenue to not fall behind other large states, and make it more enticing for the remaining corporations to abandon ship, so to say. So what we need to do is find new industry. Now, I have a couple of industries that I have in mind. I'm not going to just blurt them out so my competition could just pick up the ball of which I'm starting to roll. Now, we have a Democratic governor, as you know, that's been in office, I believe it's going to be 4 full years at the end of this election cycle. And she was lieutenant governor before that. And unfortunately, the present governor has not been able to attract or create new business in the state that will bring in new revenue. But on top of that, there's not been a full court effort to reduce the waste and corruption in our state, that I would presume or guesstimate that it's about $20 billion a year in losses that we could recover if we are smart. Now, those are two big ambitions. Find replacement companies that can fill the voids and reduce waste and theft, mismanagement of our employees, of which we should be aware, but if we're not, for example, our MTA. Our MTA has wasted and turned a blind eye to theft in their systems. Big theft, mostly in labor. A lack of supervision of the management of personnel and the hours that they work, and that's going across the board. there's about, 67,000 police officers in the state. And I hope that most of them are honest in their reporting of their hours and not padding their salaries with overtime in the last few years of their careers to extract larger pensions than they should. Now, these are big problems that traditionally have been overlooked or not been focused on by any governor or candidate for governor. Big issues. Now, another thing is that we have a mayor in New York City that's driving out some of the largest corporations that we have in New York, costing billions of dollars to not only the city, but to the state as well. And we cannot allow that. We cannot have a executive in New York City that's causing the state to lose its future for some pie-in-the-sky ideals. Now, I understand that the governor has the power to remove the mayor and also the DA of New York City, which is allowing law and order to go out the window, making our business partners, department stores, grocery stores, all kind of businesses to lose money by not prosecuting the people that are attacking them. And that is not acceptable. For those reasons alone, if I get elected governor, I will do everything in my power to remove those two people and possibly others that stop our proper administration of our government function. We cannot run a government that's out of control. We have to have a smart government that's in control of what is happening in the state. And we cannot allow any elected official, not even the governor, to get in the way of the income that is necessary for the state to run its efficient operation of government. Now, if the present governor cannot find ways, creative ways, to accomplish those goals, I think it's time for a new governor. And be it a write-in candidate with no political experience, no business experience, to do it, so be it. Now, back to the concept of removing political parties. That is going to be a hard fight. Now, to do it legally is going to be very difficult. But what I would contend how we handle removing political parties is that we convince the voters that the party system does not fill the needs of the people. Political parties, unfortunately, appear a lot like organized crime. We don't allow organized crime, and we should not allow organized political parties to use their power to ram things that we know should not be rammed down our throats without the consent of the people. Recently, the congestion pricing. We are charging basically a toll to go into Midtown Manhattan. And unfortunately, that is affecting business. The bottom line of businesses and for the workers that go in and out of Manhattan is an undue burden on those particular constituents that are our partners. Why would we want to hurt our partners? The people of the state of New York are our partners. We work for them, and they in turn work for us in a way by giving us their hard-earned money for us to run their government. Now, we want our government to be run honestly. We don't expect our government to be run corruptly, which is happening now. And with nothing we can say, nothing we can do. We allow our police to overstep their authorities all across the state. And we basically are acting un-American by having overzealous police trying to find something wrong when we cross them. They try to nitpick us into submission. And that is not what government is for. Government is for the proper administration of our government. That's the only purpose. So why would we accept anything else? Now, maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I believe that once you join the club, there's the status quo you have to satisfy. And unfortunately, that's the way the game is played in this country and probably around the world. Now, I'm also want to do a third thing that perhaps it's not in the realm of proper administration of government, but it's just as important. And that is for our people to get along with one another, tolerating each other, working with each other, and having successes with each other. To sing a song together, to go to a party and not go berserk when somebody disagrees with you. We have to get along with each other. And I attribute most of that to a majority of our citizens having a heart that is not right. Somebody with the right heart would not want to hurt anyone else. If you did something wrong, yes, we should stop you, fine you, and if necessary, if it's so bad what you're doing, possibly seek to put you in jail, to receive a jail sentence or prison time for your crimes. But other than that, we shouldn't have anybody conspiring to bring somebody down. We don't bring people down in our government. We shouldn't. This is the United States of America. We trust in God, right? That's what our money says. That's what we're supposed to do. Now, the separation of church and state is ingrained in our ethos of government. Now, that being true, there's no ethos that says separation of love and state. Now, love is something that, until now, is very subjective and up for interpretation. Why is that? There shouldn't be. Love is like anything else. Like mathematics, we don't have problems with mathematics having the same understanding of the terms that we use. Love should be no different. So that is going to be another big focus on what I want to accomplish as governor. Now, most of you are probably thinking, why would we care about a governor that cares about love? Because when you think about it, love is a very powerful thing. We all subscribe to love. We get married, we make commitments, friendships, family, all based on love. Not understanding it and not educating ourselves and getting more proficient at the use and understanding of love is a folly. It's not intelligent to not use the most powerful force that we know about. Now, once we accept that and try to do that from the top of our state administrator, the governor, then we can move ahead to try to find new ways to bring income into the state, solve some unique problems that are facing our state. Our state has a big energy deficiency. We know that in the next, to the end of this decade, and probably halfway into the next, we're going to need probably close to 800 megawatts, not megawatts, the next higher, gigawatts, not megawatts, gigawatts. We're going to need a whole lot of those. And right now, we have Niagara Falls as our #1 power source in the state. And behind that, there's some nuclear, which is dwindling, and the solar, it's just a little bit, some wind power, just a little bit, gas turbines, and some other energy generating capacities. So now, what does this high school educated write-in candidate is seeking to do? Will you support such a person? I hope you will. I'm going to put this little talk of mine on YouTube. And hopefully you will see this. I'm going to use a lot of word of mouth. Hopefully somebody will get excited and share this. Hopefully the media will pick it up and get the word out. I'm not going to go around buying ads on the major news outlets. I'm not going to take out newspaper ads. Hopefully this will all happen through the internet. I believe that anybody that's really motivated and will be able to accomplish major things. We'll be able to come up with new inventive ideas to fill the void that shifting uh, business is seeking to find in other states. Now, I know that the concept of reducing our spending is something that a lot of people are going to fight. They want to protect the money and income that they have now, and instead of increasing it, I want to diminish it. But not diminish it. I don't want I want as much money or more to come into the state, but it's going to go into private enterprise. Not more government employees, more administration, which is counter to what we need right now as a state. Now, there's another thing that I wanted to bring up, is that we have, I believe, close to 800 authorities throughout the state, each paying exorbitant salaries. Now, I'm sure the governor is well aware of this, that her salary is $250,000. I am aware that there's $1 million employee somewhere running around New York State. I know that their police employees running around Suffolk County, some making as much as $750,000, more than even the president. Now, it seems to me, if I were to become governor and someone other than a medical professional that's highly educated, very specialized, would make more than the governor. I would be very offended by anyone making more than the governor. If the governor is doing a good job, doing what they're supposed to do, and striving to bring down not only the deficit, but what the state owes. The state must owe who knows how many billions of dollars. There's billions of dollars of unfunded pensions, and I bet you if we calculate all the money that's necessary to meet all the state's obligation, we're probably talking close to $1 trillion, which will not be able to be generated in New York State. It has a budget of $268 billion, and we're in a deficit. So that means that almost none of it will be paid down. It will just be maintained, costing us more and more every year that we don't tackle these interests on our debt. Now that's another big thing that the governor has not addressed. Not only has this governor not addressed, the prior 10 governors, and probably further back, have not addressed, which ultimately make us less stable. Imagine New York State without any debt, living within our means. The state would be far better off competitively. We could possibly lower our taxes. We could possibly make standard deals with any corporation that agrees to stay here. We don't have to make special deals for special people to fulfill special requirements, which is very undemocratic, very sneaky and underhanded. And I don't want to be, I want to be one of the only states that is above board in all categories. Now, any politician in both the Democratic and Republican parties have not been able to do that, don't even speak about it, or even attempt to even speak about it. This high school educated, unelected person running for office is bringing it up. Now, I'm sure there are many more people running around our states that are far superior in capabilities than probably I will ever be. But they don't want to deal with the bull of being in government. They don't. They rather make a lot less, be anonymous, and live their lives in peace. Because to do what I want to do, I probably won't have a lot of peace unless I am a madman, a glutton for punishment, or perhaps being very good. If I'm very good and I'm successful, the state will be successful, and everybody that lives in the state that's a taxpayer right now will be better off. So consider these words. And until next time, we will talk again.